understanding how credit works and why it's important. Welcome back to Book 5, the channel that helps you live a more holistic life. This is your man Jay, and today we are going to speak about basic credit knowledge, okay? Basic credit knowledge. And as you know, this channel is mainly directed to the young men out there. And the reason I wanted to bring up this topic is because a lot of young men, in particular, have no idea how credit works, okay? Especially in the so-called black community and or low economic community. The understanding of credit is at a minimal level. So first of all, understand that credit is going to give you a lot of leverage out here in the world, right? It's going to give you a lot of options, a lot more options than you would have if you did not have credit. Irregardless if you have money to pay for whatever you are, borrowing to pay for, okay? It's going to give you credibility, right? It's going to let other people know that you are responsible at handling finances, okay? And just that reputation in an economic atmosphere is going to be worth its weight in gold, right? So number one, when you first start out building your credit, right, you don't want to bite off more than you can chew. Meaning what? You may be able to get 2 or 3 credit cards, right? They're gonna probably be low limit amount credit cards, but it's really nothing stopping you from getting multiple of these cards from multiple banks, right? Or loan or loaning institutions, okay? However, you don't want to just go out there and get every credit card that you can possibly get your hands on, right? You want to follow a certain criteria. Look at the benefits of the card. What is the card? How is the card going to benefit you outside of, building your credit? Some credit cards have cash back rewards. Some, credit cards have travel, hotel points, blah, whatever. Okay, so once you establish a credit card that you find suitable for you, you go ahead and get the credit card. Okay. When you do get the credit card, this is not a time to go crazy and start buying things, right? You really want to stick to just your necessities. Whatever you would spend in, let's just say, a week out of your own pocket in cash, you put it on the credit card, and you know that you can cover it because you spend this money every week faithfully anyway, right? So now you're just putting it on the credit card and you're paying the credit card back what you would have taken out of your pocket anyway. The general rule of thumb, you shouldn't be spending credit that you can't actually pay for out of your pocket yourself, right? And after a certain amount of time, the lender will say, wow, this person is, they're pretty responsible with the money I give them. And guess what? They'll give you more, right? So you want to stay within your limits, right? I believe it's 30% of your credit limit, right? You want to stay at 30% or less of your credit limit, okay? So if your credit limit is $100, you don't want to spend more than $30 on your card, okay? You want to build this trust. Secondly, people get the notion, well, I'm going to spend this money and then they're going to hit me with a minimum payment of $15, and I'm going to pay the $15, right? Well, that's cool. It keeps you out of default and it keeps you at good standing. But what happens is, number one, it forces you to extend past that 30% because that 30% is not entirely paid off before you want to use it again. And then secondly, this is how the bank makes money off of you, right? The amount that's still, the balance that you still owe on your credit card, the bank is now going to charge interest on that balance. So let's just say you spend $10, right, and the minimum payment is $2, and you do the minimum payment of $2. Now you still owe $8. Because you did not pay it off in full, now they're going to charge you interest on the $8, right? And that interest could be whatever you know agreed on with the credit cards, right? So now you end up paying more for the credit, right? For borrowing the money. And then that's just bad for business financially. You really want to use your credit card to get you a leg up in your personal finances, right? Use it as a step forward to building your personal wealth and all of that. You don't want it to be a hindrance. So paying the minimum balance is it is not recommended unless, of course, you have some hardships and some things come along and that's all you can do. You do what you can do, but never do it intentionally, right? It's just hurting you. You're spending more money and it's keeping you back from attaining higher financial heights, personal financial heights. Okay. And then once you do that enough, and your income increases, et cetera, your circumstances, now you have the credibility to get more credit or more powerful credit for more powerful lenders and things like that, right? But you still continue to use those basic principles throughout your credit journey, right? And like I said at the beginning of this video, it's really going to open you up for more buying power, more buying options, and just overall respect in the financial market, just being that you have been responsible. Okay, so yeah, man, don't take your credit lightly, man. Get your credit early too. Try to get it as early as possible, because the more time that you have in it, the more credibility that you have, and the more money they'll allow you to borrow, right? So yeah, man, get on your credit early. Understand how it works, and that's just the basics of how things work. And I just touched on credit cards. I didn't even touch on other loans and things like that, right? But that's the basics of how it works. Understand the basics. Get you some discipline, and make sure you can always pay what you are borrowing. Okay, and that's all. That's all. Yeah, that's all I have for you on Book 5. But before I let you go, right, we gotta hit our scripture of the day, which is Ecclesiastes 10:19. Okay, Ecclesiastes 10:19. Money answereth all things, right? So that's all I have for you today on Book 5, the channel that helps you live a more holistic life. This is your man Jay, and I'll catch you next time in the book club.